big, hot, healthy thirst for Gatorade.
Speeding in fluids and minerals.
Want my whole hot body wet with Gatorade.
Supplying energy to
Run in front of me, and I was just going too fast. You know, I expected him just to drive on in, and he didn't.
All right, we'll see you in the main event.
Okay.
Blockades.
Well, Steve, this is Chris Eash out of Woodbine, Maryland, one of the few sprint car drivers from that state who took second place and is going to be a factor here tonight. I'll guarantee you, young, fine, young driver from the East Coast. All right, we're ready to go with another 10-lap heat race here, the third one of the night. Now remember, the top 4 finishers transfer automatically to the main event. The rest of the guys, well, they're in for the B main, and they have to work their way into the feature. Only 2 transfer for the B main, Steve, so that is a mighty tough row to hoe.
Doug Clark, the starter, signals to the drivers that one more lap. If they maintain their positions, they'll get the green flag. And here they don't necessarily get it at the start-finish line, do they, Brock? It's up to Doug where they get the green.
In row 3, Greg Woolley in the 23. He's a man to watch. Row 4, Mike Brooks and Billy Viehauer in the 12X. They're the guys that are the quickest. Remember, this is an inverted start here at Knoxville.
You've only got 8 drivers this time, as Tommy Estes Jr. and Mark Wilson have both scratched, and they're on the pedal, thundering down into turn number 1, and at the front of the pack, 77X, the yellow car of Ken Chapman.
Off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. That is the 11E of Dave Ekern, challenging the 28 of Don Drought Jr. for the second spot. Ken Chapman continues to lead it in the 77X. Ekern by Drought into the second spot. Mike Brooks in the 77 in 4th.
And Greg Woolley has lost it into turn number 1 and narrowly misses the blue 12X car of Billy Viehauer. Appears to be no damage to Greg Woolley's car, but that is going to bring out the yellow. You can bet on that. He's sitting in a very dangerous position. And the yellow flag and caution laps do not count in this kind of... Ooh, and look at the smoke coming out of the 1T car. That's Don Gross. You can bet right now that he is looking at his oil pressure gauge, if there is any pressure to look at. But the smoke suddenly seems to be clearing up a bit. Hard to say what that was. Maybe just an oil leak onto those hot headers. And there is the crew trying to get the Greg Woolley car into some kind of a neutral gear so they can get it out of turn number 1 and get back to racing. Right now, let's go down into the infield. Brock is with the man who finished 3rd in the second heat.
Steve, I'm with Jimmy Sills, who started out, run a real strong, and I got to believe something happened to the number 29 because you slowed down pretty radically near the end, Jim.
Well, we've been having trouble with our car pushing in the middle of the corner tonight, and the heat race was no exception. Qualifying, we pushed clear up over the cushion, and it killed our time there. And the heat race, I just couldn't roll up on the cushion, and then Sammy got by me on the bottom, so I thought I'd try and slide him down on the bottom, but he just got me back in the next corner, so there wasn't any holding him back.
So the guys obviously are working on the chassis right now.
Yeah, we're trying to get it figured out. We've had trouble with his car before with it pushing in the middle of the corner, and you know, we just have to put a little more bar split in it, maybe a little more stagger, and get it worked out.
Okay, Jimmy Sills working on his race car. As Doug Clark says, line them up, single file, guys. We're going to have a restart. Ken Chapman still leading at Don Drought Jr., Dave Ekern, Mike Brooks, and Don Gross with that smoker in the 5th spot, Steve.
Well, only 1 lap has been considered official here in heat number 3, so there are 9 big laps to go. There's the 77, the yellow car of Ken Chapman, and the green flag is out as they move into turn number 4, and it's Chapman again pulling away from the field.
Here they come, boiling down the front straightaway and into turn number 1, right and high, the whole field. There is 66, John Barger. He takes 3rd, and it's sliding down the back straightaway. Right behind him is Mike Brooks and Dave Ekern in the 11E.
And take a look at Barger. He is continuing to move the white 66 car. He has just pulled into the 2nd position and is setting up the challenge for the lead.
Barger really rolling here. There is the 77-year leader up in front, though, but Barger in the 66 down low, taking the low groove. And will he do it? Yes. He moves by Chapman to take the lead, and we've got a caution.
And that is because of problems with Dave Ekern's number 11E. You can see there's some problems in the front suspension of that automobile. Now, there was a bit of contact made when number 66, John Barger, was passing Ekern. And that's no doubt where this problem originated. So that has brought out the yellow flag one more time. Here tonight, we're seeing the ultimate in contemporary sprint cars. Earlier, Brock Yates took a look back.
Let's turn the time machine back exactly 20 years. This race car first appeared at the Knoxville Speedway in 1968 and was driven by veteran driver Earl Wagner, one of the finest drivers to ever to run on this track. It was built just down the road in Des Moines by Bob Trossel, who's still building excellent race cars. But believe it or not, although the car looks a great deal like a contemporary race car, there's a whole lot different about it. First of all, let's take a look at the front suspension. Today we've got torsion bar front suspensions. This automobile carries a single leaf spring up front, which is the style of the day. In the back, well, a crossbar torsion bar setup, which is very similar to what we're using today on race cars. But overall, the race car differs in two major ways. One, in terms of weight. This race car weighs about 1,700 pounds. The lighter sprinters here today in the Outlaw Circuit run closer to 1,400 pounds. Moreover, the engine, this engine is a stock 350 cubic inch small block Chevy. In fact, Bob Trossel told me that they used to buy them straight out of the dealerships, bolt them right into the race cars, and sometimes they could get a 60-day warranty on them. They were just converted to run on alcohol, ran on Hilborn injectors, and basically a stock setup in the engine. As far as the cockpit is concerned, well, you can see a great big steering wheel here. Earl Wagner's a big, strong man from down the road here in Plainville, Iowa. And he tells me that in those days, no power steering. Hence, you needed a big steering wheel to reef these race cars into the corners. Big, heavy, 1,700-pound automobile. Really difficult to drive in the heavy going in the dirt tracks. Also, in those days, they carried a roll cage, but it was a bolt-on roll cage because, believe it or not, in some circuits out here, the IMCA in particular, didn't allow roll cages. So when Earl and Bob Trossel took the race car down the road to run an IMCA show, they had to unbolt the cage and put on just a simple roll bar. Of course, as things advanced and things got a little bit more intelligent as far as the sanctioning bodies were concerned, the roll cages were made mandatory. Then ultimately the wings went on the top, and a little more aerodynamic bodywork up front, and a little less weight, a little bit bigger engine, and you got a contemporary race car 20 years after old 98 ran here at Knoxville.
Well, Brock, the days of any kind of an engine warranty are long gone. These are over 400 cubic inch. They're all aluminum aftermarket blocks, patterned after the small block Chevrolet. And there's rumors out there that some of these engines, if you really put the screws to them, can make almost 800 horsepower.
Yes, sir, that's on the dyno, although 750, as you said, is a better average here. Still a ton of power. As they get on that power down the back straightaway, the green is out on a restart in heat number 3.
And trying to run down low, coming out of turn number 4, and then sweeping up the middle of the racetrack is 77X. Ken Chapman in the yellow machine. He's led from the beginning, but that is in jeopardy right now. Look at this. 28, Don Trout Jr. has moved into second and is now pulling up onto the 77 car.
And let's not forget 66, the white 66 of John Barger sitting there in that third spot. And here comes Woolley in the 23 to go by Barger, and up front, it's Trout driving right around 77X Chapman, and now Woolley goes by Chapman as well to take over second. So a sudden lead change up front in that first corner right after the green flag, Steve.
Well, Greg Woolley, the 23 car, certainly recovered from that little spin, and he may take the lead. Yes, he does. If there's enough bite down low, there wasn't quite enough. And now he falls in behind the red car, number 28 of Don Trout Jr. Now he's going to try low in turns number 3 and 4, getting the front wheels off the ground, but he makes it work.
What a comeback. First we saw Sammy Swindell come back to win. Now we see Greg Woolley come back from a first lap spin to take the lead here and really to move out on Don Trout Jr. sitting back there in the second spot. So we've got Greg Woolley apparently headed for an unchallenged victory after a first lap spin. There he goes, sliding high through turn number 2 as we watch this race for third. At 66, John Barger, right behind him, the 77, that red car of Mike Brooks. They kind of strung out, though, as Woolley heads down onto the final lap here on this half mile at Knoxville, Iowa. What a comeback. Greg Woolley apparently headed for victory in heat number 3.
And I think he showed us some things. Look at that speed, 110 miles an hour. That matches Sammy Swindell and Jimmy Sills. I believe Rocky showed us some things here. Maybe drying out just a little bit down in turns 1 and 2. That low line, look, he avoids it there. That low line may be going away at least on that part of the racetrack.
Oh, Greg Woolley, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the winner of heat number 3. We'll be right back at Knoxville.
Listen close. If you're serious about bass fishing, how much can you improve your bass fishing results with these full-time Bassmasters? I'm Ray Scott, and I'm telling you that even after a lifetime of bass fishing, I still ask my buddies, the pros, what's new? And Bass Angler Sportsman Society is for the serious bass fisherman that wants to know what's new, what's hot, and how can I catch more and bigger bass. With your membership to Bass, you receive 10 big issues of Bassmaster magazine packed with how-to articles, exciting photography, and how much would you pay to fish alongside bassing greats like Denny Breyer, Roland Martin, and a host of others? Well, now you can. Call us toll-free and learn from the pros by becoming a BASS member. Here's how.
In addition to 10 big issues of Bassmaster magazine and full membership credentials, you'll get a free tackle pack including auger tail worms, true turn hooks, string line, spinner bait, and the free book, Jackpot Bassin. To join, call 1-800-842-4444. Send no money. We'll gladly bill you.
Each Sunday, you'll see thrilling American-style sports action from Mesquite, Texas. Watch as past and present champions experience the thrills and spills of the rough and tough rodeo circuit. Bull riding champion Don Gay and TNN favorite Dan Miller are hosts to exciting events including bronc riding, steer wrestling, and calf roping. Cheer on the world's best cowboys during Mesquite Championship Rodeo. Sundays at 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific on TNN.
The greatness of America is displayed in our constitutional right to bear arms, a rich heritage and tradition that spans generations. And preserving all of this is the NRA, the National Rifle Association. You can become a part of this great heritage simply by calling now 1-800-445-5700. For just $20, you will receive the privileges and benefits of NRA membership, including 12 exciting issues of the American Rifleman or American Hunter magazine, $600 gun theft insurance, $10,000 accidental death and dismemberment insurance, your official NRA membership card and window decal, plus NRA's gold-braided insignia shooter's cap. And if you call right now, you will also receive NRA's Sportsman's Premium Pack, loaded with valuable discounts and rebates from the world's leading manufacturers of hunting, shooting, and sporting equipment. Call 1-800-445-5700. Preserve your heritage of freedoms. Join the National Rifle Association.
I'm Brock Yates, along with Steve Evans here in Knoxville, Iowa, where we just saw Greg Woolley do a terrific come-from-behind win in the third heat here. So Greg Woolley wins it over Don Draw Jr., and now let's go to Steve with the winner.
All right, Greg Woolley, a happy young man as he crawls out, one of the real stars of the Outlaws. Congratulations, boy, you had a lot of cockpit time then.
I'm telling you, we got a little messed up down there in the first lap, but came back, new motors running real good.
Everybody seems to have a different impression of the racetrack tonight. What's yours?
It's not quite as good as last night, but it'll be there, you know.
It looks like, is it starting, the groove's starting to move up a bit?
Yeah, we got to run the top in where it's a little rough, but then after that, we'll have a pretty good racetrack up top.
If you got clear traffic and you drive it flat out?
Yeah, it's a flat-out racetrack.
Oh, the kind you like?
Yes, sir.
All right, Greg Woolley goes to the A-main.
Well, like Greg said, we've had a couple of nights of flat-out racing here at Knoxville, and we got some more. In fact, it's coming up right now. Heat number 4, 10 laps. Remember now, 4 transfer to the feature. And as always, some of the hot runners here, generally starting at the back of the field. But Max Dunsney from Sydney, Australia here in row number 2. In row number 4, Danny Toman in the 2V. And row 5, Rocky Hodges from Iowa, Dave Blaney from Ohio, 2 of the best-known names in the Outlaws. Watch for them to try to move through this field as the green flag drops.
Well, let's remember that car on the outside of the back row, Dave Blaney, is the quickest qualifier of them all. Oh, in turn number 1, they're in the fence. There's a multi-car incident. In turn number 1, this race will be stopped immediately.
We've got a car outside the track, Steve. One went right through the fence. It looks like Marlon Jones in the number 9. That race car spilled upside down as Danny Toman's 2V. He is still in that automobile. Now you hear the applause from this giant crowd. That means that Marlon Jones is out of his race car. John Cernette is out of the car. Dave Blaney is apparently all right, but right now the concern is directed at Danny Toman in that automobile. There's one of the emergency workers trying to get him unhooked. Let's hope he's all right. These roll cages are very stout, but they're never quite stout enough. So concern here, spreading through this giant audience. There is Marlon Jones, number 9. Believe it or not, he walked out of that race car. Completely out of the park, Steve. But note, roll cage intact, and that big wing apparently helped to cushion the automobile. But it's going to be some time before they get that fence repaired. There he is. Danny Tolman out of the race car. He, too, is all right. So we got 4 cars totally destroyed, but thankfully 4 drivers are all right.
And now it's time to take another look at this one, Brock. One of the most spectacular accidents that we have ever seen in our 6-year coverage of World of Outlaw Racing. I don't have to tell you that it all happened right here in turn number 1.
An incredible, almost like a train wreck, as these cars literally disintegrate into that fence outside turn number 1. Unbelievable that these drivers were apparently uninjured as we watch this wreckage begin to be strewn all over the racetrack here at Knoxville. Okay, let's take another look as they come down the front straightaway toward the green flag. All right, watch the white number 2. That's Marlon Jones and the number 9 cutting in front of him. And then Jones slides up against the 14S of John Cernette, which causes him to flip. Danny Tolman in the 2V rolls. Marlon Jones goes through the fence. Dave Blaney in the 48 car goes through the wreckage, picking up shrapnel. His car is badly damaged, but does not roll. The only one of the 4 not to get upside down. That is John Cernette being led to the ambulance. He looks as if he's all right, but they will check all of these drivers to make sure that there isn't any hidden injuries. But Cernette at this point appears to be all right. Not so with his race car, which is a total wreck. Back on its wheels, they'll clear it away, as they will the other automobiles. And now let's go down to Steve on the scene.
Well, Brock, the cleanup still in process down here in turn number 1. As you know, a multi-car accident, including one completely over, or actually through the fence. But the good news is, miraculously enough, everyone is A-OK. A lot of shaken drivers, a lot of them have already gone back to the pits to either try to get a quiet moment or to maybe find some parts to try to repair these cars. But again, everyone is OK.
And truly a miracle and a testimony to the safety of these automobiles as Danny Tolman gets a hug. Remember, he was trapped in his race car for a while, causing concern. Steve, can you get him?
Danny, you OK?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Did you tell from your seat what triggered it?
The white car in front of me, the guy right in front of me, got a little crossed up there getting into this turn. Whenever I let off throttle, the guy in the back of me just shoved me right into him, and I crawled over him.
Well, considering the carnage we're looking at down here, it's a real testimony to the people that build these cars that you are OK, all of you.
Yeah, it is. I think that sprint car organizations ought to go to a cage limit on these cars, because that's a 120 wall cage, and I think that ought to be made mandatory, and they need some way to check them, because they'll hold up better.
Okay, Danny endorsing a heavier wall tubing in these sprint car cages. Let's hope everybody's listening. And let's not forget the value of these great big wings. They absorbed an awful lot of shock in this incident. It could have been worse without them. Now, there is the crew of the 48 car, the Dave Blaney machine. They know they have one of the quickest sprinters here this weekend. They want to get it back in action if at all possible. And right now, Brock Yates is with the man that'll drive it if they can get it fixed.
Steve, I'm with Dave Blaney, who was in the middle of that. And just run down exactly what happened to you, Dave.
Well, I was trailing along the outside fence there on the start, and it looked like a couple guys got tangled up in the middle of the racetrack, and they just come skating out to the outside and all got in the fence.
You tore up the front end, but do you think you can get it fixed?
Yeah, it looks like it right now. I got about 30 guys working on it. Yeah, I think we'll get it fixed.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Well, Brock, if they can't get it fixed, it won't be for the want of hands. I think his estimate of 30 people might be just a little bit low. They are manhandling that car. They already have a new wing on the top of it, working on the suspension bits. And here's another crew with a different set of tools. Hammers, chainsaws, welders, post hole diggers. The crew of Knoxville Raceway trying to get that fence back in shape just as quickly as possible. We'll be back to Knoxville right after this.
I've just discovered one of the most exciting country music values in years. Country Classics. 36 #1 country hits on 2 giant albums.
Oh, lonesome me. Talk back, trembling lips, shaky legs, don't just stand there. I have all I need.
Now ain't kind of funny what the children say, Skipper Roach.
Now I'm wearing out the shoes that Charlie wore. Satin sheets to lie
can't buy some of these songs anywhere at any price. They're truly classics. These songs are part of the history of country music. And listen, you get Don Gibson, Hank Locklin, Jimmy Dean, Hank Thompson, Farron Young, and many, many more. This collector's set of 36 #1 hits at $19.99 is a great bargain. But wait, there's more.
Oh, I'm looking at the world through a windshield.
You also get this Moving On album as a special bonus. 14 country greats.
Pour me another cup of coffee.
And look, there's still more. This incredible cassette holder clips quickly and easily to the sun visor, and presto, your favorite cassettes always right at your fingertips. You get 36 #1 country classic hits on 2 albums, plus a bonus album, Moving On, LP or cassette, and the exclusive auto cassette holder. Everything only $19.99 from K5. What value?
Credit card and COD customers call toll-free 1-800-241-2000. That's 1-800-241-2000. Or save the COD fees by sending check or money order for $19.99 plus $4 for shipping and handling to Country Classics, care of TV Offer, Post Office Box 10030, Stamford, Connecticut 06904. Remember, you get this incredible country collection, including the bonus cassette holder, by calling toll-free 1-800-241-2000. Order now.
Well, the crew of the number 9 car, driven by Marlon Jones, assessing the damage on that race car. It's too severe for it to rejoin heat number 4, but it will race again. Now, Marlon has gone to the hospital, but we get a report that he's A-OK. He just wanted to be checked out, as Brock said earlier, to make sure there were no hidden injuries. So the man from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, is just fine. Now, Dave Blaney is going to run. The 48 car is back out onto the racetrack. What a job that crew has done. And pretty soon, Dave Blaney and all of us will know if that car is capable of performing as it did before. It's a smaller field now because 3 of the 4 cars involved in that huge crash were unable to make the call. Only Blaney survived the incident to race again tonight. Now, earlier, Brock Yates had a chance to take a look at the huge wing that came off of Dave Blaney's car.
As Dave Blaney's crew works hard to get the number 48 car, you can see that the wing is fresh. They've got a spare wing on board. In the event you don't think these wings take a big beating, have a look at this one. This is the wing that was involved in the crash, and this is the reason why so many of these outlaw crashes are survivable, because this wing absorbs an enormous amount of impact. Torn up badly, but Dave Blaney, believe it or not, walked away a healthy young man, partly because of the absorbing energy of this wing.
And in Blaney's case, Brock, that wing acted as a flak shield, really, to protect he and his car from some of the debris that was flying around.
Absolutely. As they form up now for yet another restart. I wonder, Steve, we've seen 2 guys come back from first lap disasters to win their heat. I wonder if it's possible with Dave Blaney. Certainly he's one of the fastest race cars out there, but whether or not that chassis held up after that crash, we'll soon find out, because the green is out one more time.
Well, there's a big difference between a little bit of contact like Sammy Swindell and a little spin like Greg Woolley and the 4-car train wreck that Dave Blaney survived.
All right, that's Max Dumsney in the number 5, trying to get by the leader in the 48T, Bob Thompson. So, Dumsney goes high down the front straightaway to take the lead. That is the number 3 car, Rocky Hodges, challenging for the 3rd spot.
And how about Dave Blaney? The 48 car is now moved into the 4th position. And once more, look at Blaney.
Blaney on the move. The race car seems to be working just fine as we watch Dumsney and Rocky Hodges. Hodges now by Dumsney to take the lead, but look at Blaney underneath them both. Hodges, Blaney down the back straightaway, nose to nose. Dave Blaney underneath Rocky through turn number 3, turn 4 coming up, and Blaney has the lead. What a comeback. Incredible.
Nothing intimidates these guys, Brock. They're absolutely amazing drivers and amazing human beings to go through what he did, go out there with a big question mark on the automobile and perform like this.
And Steve, there's your race for the transfer spot, the 4th spot between Jason McMillan and the 48T of Bob Thompson. So we got a couple of 48s in here, and those 2 guys, Thompson and McMillan, fighting it out to get into the main event.
And McMillan is hungry. He goes to the high side, takes the cushion just perfectly, and takes that 4th position. He is now in the final transfer spot, but he's got to hold on to it for a few more laps. And trying to get it back certainly is going to be the 48T car of Bob Thompson. Now, Thompson is down low. McMillan is high, and it's the high line that's going to work.
It seems to be right now that up on that cushion as we watch Jason McMillan at 100 miles an hour. Remember, these guys are not lifting all the way around this racetrack. There is Thompson falling back a little bit in that silver-colored 48 as McMillan seems to be taking command of that fourth transfer spot.
And just in front of him is the white car running in the third position, the Aussie Max Dumpney white 5A.
And in fact, it's McMillan in the 21N beginning to challenge Dumpney for the third spot. Yes, McMillan moves underneath Dumpney to take it over. So McMillan moving well here in the final stages of this 10-lap heat race. 106 for McMillan. McMillan picking up speed all the way around. That race car is hooked up and working well as we watch Max Dumpney fall back a little bit. Cannot stay up with the charging Jason McMillan, who right now is putting on the show, while up front, Dave Blaney takes the white flag, final lap. Remember now, Rocky Hodges is sitting in the second spot, but unable to challenge this man who came back one more time. This is the third driver who's had trouble on the first lap and then goes on to victory. Off turn 4, down the front straightaway. Victory for Dave Blaney in heat 4.
And a victory for the crew of car number 48, who whipped that machine back into shape when others might have abandoned it. A terrific job. Dave Blaney advances to the A main. We'll be back.
Wait a minute. Don't you know that dust is harmful to your electronic equipment? You're just pushing the dust inside. Now that's a man-sized machine for a tough job. But how do you intend to clean that expensive light fixture? Introducing MiniVac, the amazing new miniature cleaning system designed to take on hundreds of chores no ordinary tools can handle. MiniVac cleans away dust from camera lenses, computer keyboards, figurines, stereo equipment, even jewelry. MiniVac's powerful motor vacuums away dust and dirt. It comes with 2 precision wand attachments for hard-to-reach places, 2 ultra-soft brush nozzles, and a reusable cloth vacuum bag for dust collection and convenient disposal. Keep one in the car for cleaning along the dash, steering column, stereo, ashtrays, and seats. MiniVac's light but powerful touch is perfect for removing dust from pictures, slides and projectors, model boats or airplanes, and dozens of other delicate jobs. Did you ever try to remove debris from a tufted chair? Just look how MiniVac easily negotiates those impossible-to-reach crevices. MiniVac operates on a single 9-volt battery or can be used with an AC adapter. In this special television offer, you get the MiniVac with straight and curved wands, 2 ultra-soft durable brushes, the reusable cloth vacuum bag, plus a convenient storage case for only $19.95. Money back if not delighted. Use your credit card for rush delivery. Here's how to order.
Credit card and COD customers call toll-free 1-800-842-4444. That's 1-800-842-4444. Or save COD fees by sending $19.95 plus $3 shipping and handling to MiniVac, P.O. Box 10030, Stamford, Connecticut. That's MiniVac, P.O. Box 10030, Stamford, Connecticut. Or call 1-800-842-4444.
That is Dave Blaney here in Knoxville, Iowa, after winning a terrific comeback victory in heat number 4. Rocky Hodges, Jason McMillan, and the Australian Max Dumpney transfer to the main event. And now, let's go to Steve Evans with the winner.
Well, if there's one driver who's glad the carpenters and the men with the chainsaws and the welders took their time to fix that hole in the fence, it's this man, Dave Blaney. Great work to win it after all of that.
Well, I just got to thank my crew and all the other drivers, Danny Smith and the guys from everybody else's crew. They all pitched in and gave me a hand, and it's just a heck of a break for us.
How confident were you the car would handle as it did when you rolled out there?
Oh, they checked it over real good, and everything looked 99%, so there wasn't any trouble there.
And you never looked back. Great job.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Brock.
Well, Steve, one cool customer, Dave Blaney, and he is on a roll tonight. These guys are rolling down for heat number 5, the final heat here, the final chance to get into this big A-main event here that'll cap the night of racing at Knoxville. Rick Unger in row 3, he's one of the good runners. Jerry Richard Jr., a racing family from up in Minnesota. Andy Hillenberg, Bobby Allen, remember him, what a good runner he is. And now let's go to Steve with another big story from the 4th heat.
Well, Jason McMillan's going right to the A main. And Jason, is it tough on you, a young driver, when a heat race is interrupted for a long time like that? Just give you more time to think about what you got to do?
It's tough just being here for my first time, and that on top of it, I ran around in circles and I didn't know what to do.
Right, the first time you took to this racetrack in time trials, what did you say to yourself? What did you think of it?
Don't screw up, you're on national TV, I think.
That's what I think about a lot.
No, yeah, a lot of that. This place is really weird. It's not that difficult to go fast on, but it's very hard to get between 95 and 100%. It's easy to get to 95, but that last 5% is a son of a gun.
That last 5% is flat out.
Well, you run flat out, but it's just that a little bit too much angle on the car here, a little bit too much there, and it scrubs off tenths. You know, and that's all we're running for is tenths.
See you later on in the show.
Okay, thank you.
Good job by Jason McMillan as we get ready for heat number 5. Quick note, Steve, we've got another Andy Hillenberg in this field in the black number 2. He is from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, a well-financed family team and a fine young driver. So 2 Hillenbergs here tonight.
Well, the other Hillenberg did not make it to the A feature. He's going to be in the B main later on. Let's hope that this Andy does a little bit better.
He's going to make his move right away, Steve. That's him in the black 2, riding high through turn number 2, picking up a couple of spots as they head down the back straightaway. The 88 car, Bob Hoff, leads it, though, as they head down to complete the first lap.
He leads it, but just behind him is the 1J car. That is Bruce Drotz in the white machine. And look at this race for the lead. Drotz moves up. Drotz has got the lead.
Right behind him, 88 Bob Hoff. But look at this, 81 Jerry Richard Jr. beginning to move in on that lead pair, and it will start to challenge. Richard by Hoff, and now he sits right behind the leader, Bob Drotz, as they head down into turn 1 and out of turn 2. He blows right by him, so Richard has the lead in the blue 81 as they head down through turns 3 and 4 down the front straightaway. So Richard makes a beautiful start and charges right to the front, Steve.
And a big battle for that third spot. The yellow car, number 88, on the inside. Bob Hopp on the outside is Jim Grafton, the black 3B car. But it's Hopp who establishes, whoop, no, he does not. Around him again comes Grafton in that black 3B car. They are really going there.
And look at this, Steve. That's Rick Unger in the 5R. He has all of a sudden arrived on the scene right by Hopp, and now he goes by Grafton to take over the third spot. So Unger moving, as is this young man, Jerry Richard Jr., Forest Lake, Minnesota. His father was one of the fine race drivers on the old IMCA circuit. And here's the race for 5th. Bobby Allen in the 1A, Bob Hopp in the 88, and Andy Hillenberg in the black 2. They are trying to move into that transfer spot. They've got one more to go, but right now they are tangling with each other, and that may be slowing them all up a little bit, Steve. You know, once they can get clear of traffic, sometimes they can move ahead. Right now, Hopp holds off Bobby Allen, and behind Allen is the black 2 of Andy Hillenberg. We thought those 2 cars had moved to the front, but they are not. They're having a lot of problems right now with Hopp.
A lot of the fans are rooting for Bobby Allen Scruffy. They call him from Pennsylvania, the 1A car. He crashed here a year ago and had a lot of problems. He's trying to get into that 4th position.
He just got by Hopp at 102 miles an hour down the back straightaway to take over the 5th position, but he still has got a way to go. Here comes Hopp. There is Hillenberg challenging Hopp. Hillenberg going high. Final lap. That is Bobby Allen. There's Hillenberg trying to get underneath Hopp. Down into turn number 3. Hillenberg muscles by. Remember now, Richard is on his way to an easy victory, but these 2 guys, they're going at it for sheer pride. They are not going to make that transfer position as Hillenberg, the checkers out. Hillenberg takes 6th place as Jerry Richard Jr. heads for the winner's circle. We'll be back to talk with him right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from Kip Parker Films, weighing in at 60 minutes of non-stop videocassette action, Wrestling Gold! They're all here, wrestling superstars, Randy Macho Man Savage, the Road Warriors, Jerry Lawler, Lanny Poffo, the Rock and Roll Express, the Junkyard Dog, Austin Idol, Nick Bockwinkel, Mark Lewin, the Sheik, the Crusher, the Von Erichs, plus Hulk Hogan and many more. Order now and also receive a 2nd action-packed volume. Introducing Tully Blanchard, Blackjack Lanza, Rick Rude, Manny Fernandez, the Samoans, Bob Roop, Dick the Bruiser, Ernie Ladd, Bobby Heenan, Blackjack Mulligan, Ted DiBiase, Bruno Sammartino, and much, much more. Witness every pile driver, drop kick, body slam. Truly a one-of-a-kind Wrestlers Hall of Fame. This incredible collection includes the best of the best, complete matches, plus non-stop action highlights, all selected from over 600 hours of rare wrestling footage. So don't look for this exclusive 2-volume collector's edition video anywhere. It can only be purchased through this limited TV offer. That's right, you'll get not one, but 2 action-packed video cassettes of the greatest wrestling superstars ever assembled for only $29.95 complete. Call our 24-hour hotline now for Wrestling Gold.
To order your 2-volume set by credit card, call 1-800-842-4444 or send $29.95 plus $4.50 shipping and handling to Wrestling Gold, P.O. Box 10030, Stamford, Connecticut 06904. That's Wrestling Gold, P.O. Box 10030, Stamford, Connecticut 06904. Be sure to specify VHS or Beta.
We're back in Knoxville, Iowa for the World of Outlaws Copenhagen Classic. I'm Steve Evans along with Brock Yates, and there are the top 5 from the final heat. Bobby Allen does not make the cut. He will go to the consolation. Brock is with the winner.
Jerry Richard Jr. carrying on the great racing tradition of his father. Congratulations on a good, strong heat race, Jerry.
Thank you. We got a good break early and got through all the cars right away. The plan that we kind of made worked out, and I think that was the key, is to get up there right away.
You going to make any changes for the feature?
Oh, we'll definitely make some changes, you know, tighten the car up a little bit. This track right now is real similar to what we run on weekly, so, you know, we're kind of used to this. We didn't qualify in as good as we really expected, but, you know, as long as we make the cut to that feature, I guess that's the big thing.
Yes, sir. Congratulations, Jerry.
Thank you.
Well, as the cars of the B feature are getting ready, we've got a special treat for you. This is the Fram Dash, and it's the top 6 qualifiers for just 5 laps for $1,500. $500 to the winner. Now, there's a name up front there that we wouldn't normally expect to see here, Mike Brooks. Well, that's because Dave Blaney, the 48 car, eligible for the Fram Dash, says, I think my crew needs a little more time to get ready for the A feature tonight. He is withdrawn. Brooks has gone into his place.
Well, that'll make an interesting newcomer here. On the outside, though, that familiar number 1 car of Sammy Swindell. The green is out, and here comes Swindell and Brooks, leading him down into turn number 1. Brooks in the 77 holds on. Swindell high on the outside, 108 miles an hour as Sammy Swindell sweeps into the lead.
Swindell took the high line. Everybody else went low, and he was the man with the proper line. Even though it's the long way around, that's where the traction is. Look at Swindell launch off that cushion.
Here's your race for 3rd. Chris Eash in the 17th blows by Mike Brooks and charges up on 4A, Johnny Herrera. So Chris Eash, driving hard, takes over the 2nd spot as he drives underneath Johnny Herrera down through turn number 1.
And there's the race for 4th. Taking the low line, 6R, Mark Kinzer. He's in 4th. Behind him is Mike Brooks, the 77 car, the red machine, and then it's Rocky Hodges.
All right, there is the 4A of Johnny Herrera. He has been falling back here a little bit. Here comes Mark Kinzer right behind him in the 3. Rocky Hodges trying to move up.
And every position is important. The higher you finish, the more points you get towards a season-end bonus of $17,500 split among the top 6. So every position is important.
And right now, Sammy Swindell, who leads this particular Fram Dash, has a pretty commanding lead in the overall point standing as we go into the final lap. Following this man, Sammy Swindell, Bartlett, Tennessee, off turn number 4, down the front straightaway. The checker is out. He is the winner. Chris Eash, in the 17, takes 2nd as Sammy Swindell heads for the winner's circle. We'll talk with him in a moment. And note, too, that Mark Kinzer squeezed past Johnny Herrera on the last lap to take over the 3rd spot. Herrera and Rocky Hodges round out the top 5 here in the Fram Dash. And Mike Brooks finishes in the last spot. He, remember, started in this man's place. That's Dave Blaney, as he and his crew intently continue repairs on their race car. And now, let's go to Steve.
Well, Brock, when you look at the payout for the Fram Dash, it's a pretty good work if you can get it. About $100 for every 17 seconds around the racetrack, and Sammy Swindell. It's a nice little tip for the day.
Yeah, well, we've done pretty good this year. I think right now we've kind of got a lock on that title for the year or whatever that part, because you know, we've gained enough points already this year that you know, the guy that's second right now will have to win all the rest of them to beat us. So
That's unlikely. You know, coming out of turn 4, just before you took the green, it looked like you got wide there unintentionally.
Well, you know, I tried to move off the top a little bit to see what the car was going to do, and you know, it's a new car. We just ran it last weekend for the first time, and we're still kind of feeling it out. Got a few new things on that Challenger car, and we're still not quite right, but you know, we're pretty quick.
I'll let you go. Get a $500 check from Fram. Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
And Steve, remember too that Mark Kinzer's last lap pass was important. It moves him into the second place in the standings, so that's a good move for him. As we get ready now for the B main, 18 cars, 2 of them transfer to the A feature. An important race and always an action-filled race.
And it's a little longer than the heat races. They'll go 12 laps this time, and it's a much bigger field. A lot more cars out there. You got to maybe be a little more cautious in the opening laps, because there's 18 point spreaders and only 2 go to the A feature.
That's right. And on the front row, we've got the guys that were fighting it out. Last time we saw them, that's Bobby Allen and Andy Hillenberg. Allen and Hillenberg we thought would do a lot better than they did. Now they're on the comeback trail as they head down into turn number 3. All lined up. I would imagine the green will come out as Bobby Allen leads them toward the start of the B main here at Knoxville. The green is out.
And everybody on the pedal at the same time. It's a good, clean race into turn number 1. That is Bobby Allen out front, the white 1A car. And just behind him is Andy Hillenberg, the black machine.
And riding in the 3rd spot is the 2H Rich Buback. So Allen, though, has moved out to a pretty commanding lead. Jumped off the start and just kind of departed from Hillenberg, who's trying to hold on to second. There's your race for 4th, 44-hour Robbie Stanley, 12X, Billy Bellhauer, and 5M, the other Andy Hillenberg. We got 2 of them in this race, Steve.
And a good race for the 3rd spot. 2H Rich Buback and 44th Robbie Stanley. They are right there side by side.
And there is the blue 12X of Billy Bellhauer and the 5M. That's the blue and white car. They are in a battle for the 5th spot.
And that's the other Andy Hillenberg, the 5M blue and white car, and he has taken that 5th spot as we move back to the race for 3rd. Robbie Stanley in the 44R car, the orange machine.
And Rich Buback in the 2H. That is the white car as they go after it. Remember now, only 2 cars move into the A main here, the A feature. So that is a critical position for those guys because they've got to catch up to the other Andy Hillenberg. Oh, 61. That is Wayne Redmond. His car's on fire, as is he. Yes, that car somehow has caught fire. Fire extinguisher crews on the scene. He's got a Nomex suit on. He should be all right. Let's hope so. But he took a pretty good lick down there. That is down in turn number 4. It brings out the caution flag. That's Bobby Watson, the World of Outlaws chief steward. He is calling for an ambulance. Clearly, Redmond is in trouble. He's got to be in pain.
Well, and the injuries he could have suffered leaping out of that car might be more serious than any burns. We'll come back with a full report on Wayne Redmond right after this.
Talented up-and-coming performers from across America are judged by a panel of audience members, country entertainers, and record executives as they compete for a grand prize package, including a major recording contract and an appearance on the legendary Grand Ole Opry. Hosts Jim Ed Brown and Larry Black introduce tomorrow's celebrities on their first step to stardom. You can cast your vote by watching You Can Be a Star, weekdays at 11 Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, only on TNN.
Some people go out of their way, struggle in the face of adversity, navigate troubled waters, simply to bring home the bacon, as long as it's Wrath Blackhawk bacon, because Wrath Blackhawk bacon tastes as great as it looks.
Delicious. Hope it wasn't too much trouble.
Nah. Wrath Blackhawk. Some folks think it's the only bacon worth bringing home.
Kids, sports, and home repairs.
pets, auto tips, and fashion tips. Hi, I'm Jan Snyder.
And I'm Dan Miller, and these are just a sampling of the entertaining and informative topics shared with you on TNN's first daytime magazine series.
We'll talk with experts on these and a host of other fascinating subjects each weekday right here on American Magazine.
Weekdays at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Pacific, only on TNN.
Well, we've got good news from Knoxville, Iowa. The driver of the number 61 car, Wayne Redmond, who you saw bail out on fire, is A-OK. Not a burn and not a bruise.
And let's have a little cheer for the makers of Nomex, the miracle fibers that saves people from injuries like that. As the green is out, and Scruffy Allen leads the field off turn number 4 with Andy Hillenberg right on his tail.
And nobody has to tell Bobby Allen or Andy Hillenberg that they better maintain those positions. That's the only way they are going to go to the A main to come.
Oh, up against the fence and upside down. A big crash. Al Schmidt and Billy Valauer in turn number 1. It appears as if the drivers are all right. Once again, a really hard spill as the field headed down into turn number 1. There's the 25 car, Schmidt, and the number 12 X of Billy Valauer. Both cars upright, both drivers apparently all right. The emergency crews checking for fire as Valauer starts to unhook. Let's take another look at this, Steve.
Watch center right on your screen, and you'll see the 25S car of Al Schmidt get completely sideways right there, the white car. Along comes 12X Billy Vilhauer and T-bones him. He had nowhere to go. You know he was hard on the brakes. Now, actually, it's Vilhauer who gets the worst of this. His car does a multi-flip while never quite getting upside down as Al Schmidt.
Well, as you can see, Steve, it looked as if Valauer tried to go outside and had the way blocked as Schmidt got up against the fence. And then Valauer, as you said, took a giant tumble, tore the wing totally off that race car. As we said earlier, yet another example of how those wings absorb all that energy.
And that's why Billy Vilhauer and Al Schmidt are both so happy to have those wings on board. Looks like Billy might be shaking off a little bit of a foot injury there. I'm sure it's nothing serious. They're lucky, as was Wayne Redmond. Brock talked to him right after his fiery escape.
Wayne, you all right?
Oh, yeah. Things just got a little warm, that's all.
What happened?
I really don't know. It was alcohol. I could smell it was fuel. I knew that, and that's why I was pulling it in, but didn't make it that far. It let go.
Thank goodness for those old Nomex suits, right?
Yeah, that's all it is. With just a brand new suit here. Just got my fiance just bought for me a good thick one, and I'm glad it was, too. That's for sure.
Glad you're okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, Wayne Redmond certainly was in great spirits considering what happened to him here. And back over in the infield, the crew for number 3, Rocky Hodges' car, working to get ready for the feature to come. Now, they had a minor little brush with Johnny Herrera in the 4A car during the dash, but it doesn't take much contact, Brock Yates, to bend something on these cars.
No, the suspensions need to be absolutely symmetrical, but remember now, they are amazingly rugged. Dave Blaney's car, the 48, remember, had a big crash and came back, then to win its heat. As we get ready for a restart here. 2 Hillenbergs in the top 5, that's not a mistake. The number 2 car, though, is the black automobile right behind your leader, the 1A Scruffy Allen coming off turn number 4 to head for the green flag.
And you saw how desperate Hillenberg is to hang on to that second spot or maybe even win it. He had the front wheel right up onto the bank into the dirt. Only the top 2 continue to race tonight for the big money.
All right, that is your race for 4th. The 5M, Andy Hillenberg. The 2H, Rich Buback, all in there. Tommy Estes Jr. in the 97. He's hanging in there as well, trying to hold on to that 6th spot.
Well, the big race is for 3rd, and that is 44R, the orange car of Robbie Stanley, then Rich Buback in the 2H machine, Andy Hillenberg, the other Hillenberg in the 5 car, blue and white right there, and 97 Tommy Estes Jr., as you said.
And the 5M car, the blue and white automobile of Andy Hillenberg, now sits in the 4th spot. Good race there. 5M, Andy Hillenberg, Rich Buback in the 2H. Both of those cars contesting for that 4th position. The 97 car, though, Tommy Estes Jr., still sitting back there in 6th spot. Okay, there is Hillenberg in the 5M, 2H, Rich Buback going side by side through turns 3 and 4 down the front straightaway, but keep your eye on 97, Tommy Estes Jr. Here comes Estes, right in there in that red car, now starting to challenge Buback in the 2H.
Bubeck is currently in that 5th position, but as you said, Tommy Estes Jr. 97 is making some progress trying to bump him out of that spot. And as you can see by looking at this racetrack, it is holding up phenomenally well, and that's good news for the big race to come right after this B main. But here's just a terrific contest for that 4th position. 2H Rich Bubeck and 5M Andy Hillenberg just knocking on each other.
All right, now 2H Bubeck moves down on the low groove to take over that spot, moving by Hillenberg. And look at this, the 97 car, that red automobile, now moving into challenge Hillenberg as well. So Tommy Estes Jr. now on the move. Bubeck has moved by Hillenberg, and Hillenberg being challenged by the 97. In fact, coming off turn 4, he takes him. Tommy Estes moves into, now challenges Bubeck. Here's the battle for the lead, Steve.
The black number 2 car, that Andy Hillenberg, has taken the lead away from Bobby Allen. Some magnificent driving the car, just literally all over the racetrack. And before it is 97 Tommy Estes Jr. and 2H Rich Bubeck. They're still having that war.
Let's see how that one goes. That'll be a struggle all the way as Estes goes high. Bubeck stays low. Here comes Hillenberg to take the win. Estes now gets underneath Bubeck going down into turn number 3. Off turn 4, Tommy Estes Jr. Yes, moves in to take that 4th spot. What a terrific race for that position here in the B main. Tommy Estes Jr. In the meantime, in the pit area, that's the 4A car of Johnny Herrera. Remember, he tangled with Rocky Hodges in the Fram Dash. His crew working on that automobile. He'll start on the inside of the 3rd row. 5th spot in the A feature. Good position. Now, let's go to Steve with the winner of the B main.
You picked off Bobby Allen rather nicely. That was a nice move.
Well, he just got up on lap traffic. You know, the guy that's running second in any race has got the advantage anyway. It's just that he just run up on lap traffic, and I was running the top, and he was running the bottom, and it just got lucky. That's all it was.
We'll let you get ready for the A main. See you then.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, the winner here of the B main, Andy Hillenberg, Bobby Allen, Robbie Stanley, Tommy Estes Jr., and Rich Bubeck round out the top 5, but it'll be Hillenberg and Allen who transfer to the AA feature.
I've just discovered one of the most exciting country music values in years. Country Classics. 36 #1 country hits on 2 giant albums.
Oh, lonesome me. Talk back, trembling lips, shaky legs, don't just stand there. I have all I need.
Now ain't kind of funny what the children say, Skipper Roach.
Now I'm wearing out the shoes that Charlie wore. Satin sheets to lie on.
You can't buy some of these songs anywhere at any price. They're truly classics. These songs are part of the history of country music. And listen, you get Don Gibson, Hank Locklin, Jimmy Dean, Hank Thompson, Farron Young, and many, many more. This collector's set of 36 #1 hits at $19.99 is a great bargain. But wait, there's more.
I'm looking at the world through a windshield.
You also get this Moving On album as a special bonus. 14 country greats.
Pour me another cup of coffee.
And look, there's still more. This incredible cassette holder clips quickly and easily to the sun visor, and presto, your favorite cassettes always right at your fingertips. You get 36 #1 country classic hits on 2 albums, plus a bonus album, Moving On, LP or cassette, and the exclusive auto cassette holder. Everything only $19.99 from K5. What value?
Credit card and COD customers call toll-free 1-800-241-2000. That's 1-800-241-2000. Or save the COD fees by sending check or money order for $19.99 plus $4 for shipping and handling to Country Classics, care of TV Offer, Post Office Box 10030, Stamford, Connecticut 06904. Remember, you get this incredible country collection, including the bonus cassette holder, by calling toll-free 1-800-241-2000. Order now.
Hi, I'm Lori Ann Crook.
I'm Charlie Chase. The Country Music Association's annual awards show is coming up, and we hope you'll join us for a special CMA Awards preview.
We'll review the musical hits of 1988 and talk with the talented artists that performed them.
K.T. Oslin and Randy Travis lead this year's list of nominees.
So don't miss this special CMA Awards preview right here on TNN.
Saturday, October 8th at 11 Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific on TNN.
Well, you can always tell when the big race of the night is at hand. The Outlaws and their winning sprinters lined up in their 4 abreast formation. It's really a salute to the crowd. I'm Steve Evans along with Brock Yates. We're back in Knoxville, Iowa, and it's time for the A feature of this Copenhagen Classic. And Brock Yates, in the grandstands, there's a wave of excitement because this is where the big money is for these drivers.
A crowd of over 15,000 people in the stands ready to watch Jeff Swindell and Rocky Hodges on row 1. Mike Brooks, Sammy Swindell on the outside of row 2. Herrera, Dave Blaney, remember his troubles earlier in the night. Chris East, Mark Kinzer, kind of a sleeper so far. Watch out for him. Jerry Richard Jr., Jimmy Sills had some problems tonight. Greg Woolley, Jason McMillan, good drive. Remember him. Lilo McSpadden, the Tempe, Arizona ace, a real veteran and a fine driver. And so it goes. Rick Unger from Indianapolis, Indiana. He's had some problems. From Sydney, Australia, Mad Max Dumpsney. And row 11, those two guys, Hillenberg and Allen, who just got into this event by finishing 1-2 in the B main.
All right, it's time to get serious. Everybody falls into their position 2 abreast. Started looking them over. We may not be very far away from the start of this final A feature. And Brock, this has all the ingredients to be a terrific race. Some of the biggest names in the sport, and everybody here has earned their way into this race.
Right. Jeff Swindell on the pole, and on the outside, Rocky Hodges, who started his racing career really around here, just down the road in Des Moines, Iowa. The green is out. And look at this. We got trouble already. That is Sammy Swindell, who got pinched right at the start. The green immediately turned to yellow. We've got a yellow flag here. We're going to reform, mainly because that man, Sammy Swindell, got pinched right in the middle of a scramble of automobiles right as the green flag fell. I wonder if he's going to have to go into the pits or whether or not he can continue. He got a pretty good bump there.
Yes, he did. It happened so fast. Let's take a look at it in replay. Right in the center of the screen, you see Swindell. He is just trapped in there, and suddenly the car rides up on the tires of 2 other machines.
Well, it's a big, wide racetrack here at Knoxville. Yes, Swindell is in the pits. One more time, Steve. He's got some problems. I'm sure it's going to be a tire. Yes, the right front that they're going to make the change on as the field continues to circulate here under caution. These laps do not count.
Well, Sammy will get no sympathy from Dave Blaney in the 48 car after what he went through earlier this evening. Let's have one more look at this incredible accident. It happened in heat number 4 as they took the green flag and headed down into turn number 1.
Hard to believe that anybody could survive this, much less race again tonight, but that's what happened when Dave Blaney piled into this madness here in turn number 1. Cars tumbling all over the racetrack. As we said earlier, nobody hurt, fortunately, and Blaney repaired and underway one more time. As we see Marlon Jones move in underneath the number 2 car of Danny Toman and then hook up with John Cernette, and 3 of them pile into the fence at almost 100 miles an hour, and right behind them, the 48 car, and that mess is Dave Blaney, who somehow survived and carried on today. An incredible piece of action footage, Steve.
Oh, it is. Dave Blaney just kind of drove through a sprint car Cuisinart. Somehow was able to get that car back in the field. And not only is he in this field, Sammy Swindell is back in the field as well. They have replaced that right front tire. Sam is out there, but now at the back of the pack.
Right. That's the penalty he paid, unfortunately, for that little squeeze job he got. As the green is out, his brother, Jeff Swindell, leads him down, jumps off the pole, and charges into turn number 1.
And just behind him, one of the bravest drivers in them all in the blue number 3 car, that is Rocky Hodges.
Sitting in the 2nd spot, and here comes Dave Blaney in the white 48, moving in the 3rd position, down low. That's Jet, Rocky, and Blaney gets underneath Rocky Hodges to take over 2nd as Rocky goes high in turn 1.
Now let's see where Blaney goes as he comes down into turn number 3. He's going to keep that high line. He goes right around Jeff Swindell, and Dave Blaney in the white 48 car, incredibly enough, leads this race. May have been a wise move not running the brand dash and taking that extra time.
That's right. That car is hooked up right now, but here comes Swindell right back at him. Jeff Swindell down the back straightaway in the orange 11X, but he can't make it work. Blaney stays high, 107 miles an hour on our speed trap, down the back chute. Here comes Blaney off turn 4. Swindell right behind him. Rocky Hodge is holding on to the third position. Those cars have moved out from the rest of the field right now, all running alone as they'll begin. Blaney will begin to move in on the lap traffic within a couple of laps. That could give Jeff another shot at him. This racetrack is worked in beautifully. You see the cars riding against that cushion up high, but there's a low groove as well. So there's passing opportunities all the way around, although Blaney rides high now, going down the back straightaway, as does Jeff Swindell.
Well, let's check towards the rear. In the 14th spot, the white car of Mark Kempton, that's the 6R machine. Sammy Swindell, there you see the black car struggling on that low line, the number 1 machine. Bobby Allen in the white 1A, he's back there as well, as is Rick Unger. He is currently 13th in the red and white car.
As we watch Sammy Swindell broad slide past our camera, turn number 4, and then down the front straightaway. Right behind him, Bobby Allen in the 1A. Up ahead is the 6R of Mark Kinter. As Sammy Swindell struggles, he had a good starting position, got squeezed, cut down a right front tire, had to change it, started at the back of the field, scratch, as they say in this kind of racing, and now trying to work his way up toward the front. But he's got a bunch of quick guys. That is Rick Unger in the 5 right in front of him. He has got to get by him for the 14th spot.
Dave Blaney in the 48 car leading this race and still charging as he pulls up on the 77 car of Mike Brooks. He puts Brooks a lap down. Now back for third place. It is 29, Jimmy Sills on the outside there. And number 3, Rocky Hodges. Hodges down low at 111 miles per hour.
Running strong, flat out, all the way around this half mile, never lifting. Although as they get into traffic, the faster cars may have to maneuver and get out of the throttle. As we watch Sills, there is the 11X car of Jeff Swindell. He is currently sitting in the 2nd spot. Sills right behind him. But the man of the hour right now is number 48, Dave Blaney, who leads it down the front straightaway.
Well, 111 or not for Rocky. His number 3 car has now been pushed back into the 5th position. That pass by Jerry Richard Jr. did that. Chris Each, the 17E car, is now trying to get Hodges as well. That's the yellow machine with the 17 on the wing. Now he goes down low. Rocky goes high in the blue number 3 car, and they both going to hold their positions. Neither gained any ground nor lost any. Now Rocky stays high, and again, it is Each staying low. This time Each pulls alongside, but Rocky gets the launch off of the cushion and makes up for the distance with the speed down the back straight. But Each is committed to that low line, Brock.
He is, and it seems to be working for him. Slowly, he's trying to squeeze underneath Rocky. Rocky stays high, though. They've been running these high and low grooves for lap after lap, but now East slowly gets by. I'll tell you, I think Hodges' car is still hurt from that little brush he had in the front edge, because he started well, runs hard, but doesn't seem to have the kind of handling that he would desire here. As East continues to move ahead, there is their leader, Dave Blaney, still holding on in the white number 48, doing an excellent job, relatively unchallenged at this point, but still in the middle of traffic and fighting it out.
Anytime you're in traffic, just about anything can happen. And we've seen how drivers behind you can use that traffic to their advantage better than the leader can.
You just saw Blaney blow past number 28, Don Drought Jr. as Drought got out of the way to let the leader through. All right, there's your interval. Behind Blaney right there is the 11X car of Jeff Swindell. The white flag out. Half a mile to go for this man to win this Copenhagen Classic here at Knoxville, Iowa. As he sweeps through turn 3, around turn 4, down the front chute through the traffic. Here comes Jeff Swindell. One more shot. Dave Blaney wins it here at Knoxville, Iowa.
And what a popular win this will be with the fans. They know what this man and his crew have been through. Just to keep the 48 car on its wheels has been a miracle. To win it, well, that's something else.
Shortcuts from General Foods.
Hi, I'm Ann Simon. Watch my special way to make pesto, a great herb sauce for pasta, potatoes, and bread.
Welcome to another round of Name This Cereal. Are you ready, panel?
Yes!
Post-food and fiber cereal tastes so good, you forget the fiber. Okay, it has sweet sun-ripened peaches.
It's fruitin'!
Sorry, it has fat raisins.
Fruitin'!
Crunchy almonds and crisp light flakes.
With all these peaches.
Snake River, Wyoming and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. The Snake River means fly fishing for lunker cutthroat trout. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer. Cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer. And smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
There's nothing like the flavor of a special place. An Old Milwaukee beer.
Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light.
Fellas, it just doesn't get any better than this.
Go on, Jim. Tell the kid how you learned to track trophy deer like that one.
Well, I came across this old Indian in the woods. Now, he was so hungry that in exchange for my lunch...
Just wait now. I remember eating a sandwich, and this big old buck walked up, took a bite, and followed me back to camp for more.
You know the season my odd six jammed? Tie my bootlaces together, string them from the barrel to the stock, and make it into a bow to bring down a monster like that.
North American Whitetail, the one magazine just for deer hunters. Every issue packs the real truth about finding trophy bucks, how deer avoid hunters, and amazing new facts about the rut, movement patterns, weather, hunting pressure, everything to get your trophy out of your dreams and onto your wall.
Gotta get there before daylight, you know.
Call toll-free 1-800-842-4444. You'll get 1 year of North American Whitetail for $14.95. The one magazine just for deer hunters. Call now 1-800-842-4444.
Big celebration going on here at Knoxville, Iowa for Dave Blaney, who wins it. Jess Wendell, Jimmy Sills, Gary Richard Jr., and Chris Each in the top 5 in this Copenhagen Classic. Rounding out the top 10, Rocky Hodges, Sammy Swindell works his way up to 7th. Johnny Herrera, Andy Hillenberg, Leland McSpadden, 8th through 10th. And now let's go to Steve with the winner, Dave Blaney.
Jeff Swindell was behind you, and he was trying to find a low line down there to get underneath you, but he just couldn't make that work.
Well, I kind of run both at first, and my crew signaled me to just stay on the top, and, you know, I guess that was a little better for me. I couldn't tell the difference myself, but it worked out for us, I guess.
And you were very careful when you got into traffic. Just kind of picked your way through, never got in a hurry.
Yeah, 2 crashes in one night's too many, so we just kind of took it easy, see if we could survive it.
Indeed. Congratulations. A great drive.
Thank you.
Dave Blaney is the champion tonight here at Knoxville. Let's go to Brock with 2nd place.
Thanks, Steve. I'm with Jess Wendell, who started on the pole, then fell back a little bit, and then seemed to recover and started to move near the end.
Yeah, it probably took a couple laps to get the tires going real good, but it was going real good. Dave got through me there on that one deal, and I don't think he was any faster. I think we were a little quicker once we started picking up traffic and got to running by, you know, way out in the open, got the speed built up. But, you know, he got through there and got by me. About the same thing as the heat, you know. We got caught, you know, but that's part of it.
Congratulations, Jeff.
Thanks a lot, bud.
Steve?
Our congratulations to all the winners tonight. Brad Doty, one of the most talented and popular drivers on the Outlaw Tour, was not in competition tonight because recently at Eldora, Ohio, Brad was involved in a very serious accident. He is paralyzed from the chest down. His wife, 2 children, and one on the way are going to need some help, so a fund has been established. The address is on the screen. You can imagine the medical bills that Brad and his family will be facing. Brad's a guy who was always taking care of his own, but until he can again resume those responsibilities, if you can help, please do. Well, the crowd that is filing out of Knoxville Raceway tonight saw quite a show. We know they enjoyed it and hope you did too. For Brock Yates, I'm Steve Evans. So long from Iowa.
The executive producer for American Sports Cavalcade is Harvey M. Palish. Produced and directed by John B. Mullen. Promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by the Style Auto World Championship Team, the nation's premier source of fast lane fashions. Style Auto, the champion.
Wild Dunes, and it is a gorgeous place. You can call 1-800-845-8880, and that phone call is toll-free. Well, we'd like to also extend our thanks to Travis Carter and the rest of the Mach 1 racing team. And lastly, thank you for watching us here once again on Inside Winston Cup Racing. We'll see you next week.
Inside Winston Cup Racing has been brought to you in part by Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light, 2 of America's great tasting beers. It doesn't get any better than this. Ground transportation for Inside Winston Cup Racing is provided by Fleetwood Enterprises, makers of this beautiful 34-foot Pace Aero motorhome and a full line of other excellent recreational vehicles. Clothing for the crew of Inside Winston Cup Racing is provided by Uniforms by Chi-Chi of Kannapolis, North Carolina. We dress the winning teams.
music, variety, sports, and information. You're enjoying TNN with more stars, more shows, and specials to entertain and brighten your day. TNN, the Nashville Network.
Not too long ago, if you'd asked me to join AARP, I'd have said, no way.
I'm not retired. Then I found out AARP is for any person who's 50 or over.
So I called. I liked the fact that I could be part of an organization the government listens to on issues like health, long-term care, and financial security.
I like the fact that I could save money with AARP's pharmacy by mail.
Now, as a member, I get modern maturity magazines and informative news bulletins. I can enroll in the group health insurance program.
And qualify for special rates on home and auto insurance. My $5 membership even gets me great savings at hotels across the country.
Plus, joining is so easy. Just call this toll-free number.
AARP will send you a free information package.
Once you send your $5 dues, your own membership card.
So come on, become a member.
I can't think of a better $5 you'll ever spend. Go ahead, call this number now.
Randy Travis and Patty Loveless on the USO Tour, Thursday.